I'm going to try for the very first time another expression in the Flora and Fauna series from Diageo. And that whiskey is the Blair Athol 12-year-old. Let's get stuck in. Thank you guys for coming along and sharing this experience with me today. I am very excited, as per any of the My First Time videos that I do, where I get to try a brand new whiskey on camera and share my experience in real time. So part of the reasoning is, if it's good, hopefully we catch a great reaction. If it's bad, it should make for good viewing as well. So today we are doing Blair Athol 12-year-old, which is a Highland single malt, and it is at 43% ABV. It is absolutely full of artificial coloring. It is chill filtered, and it currently retails in my market for about $150 Australian. So a little bit pricey in terms of what you can get for a 12-year-old age statement, and 43%, or what you can get for $150. It's one of the only, if not the only, I believe, original bottling of Blair Athol. Okay, let's open it up. Pour ourselves a dram. Nose the whiskey. Taste the whiskey. And finally end with my recommendation if it's a whiskey that I think you should add to your list. All right. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, let's see. One of those ones that you can't really get a sense of the whiskey or excited by the coloring when you know that it's not real, so no need to really talk to what I'm looking at. Let's begin with the nosing on the Blair Athol 12 Flora and Fauna. Interesting. Okay, so it's very familiar in terms of the sherried profile, but there's something else there, right? You've got the sweet notes like raisins and plums. There's this musty, woody note, and then almost like, it's gonna sound weird, but like cheese that's drizzled in honey. It's different. Yeah, it smells like there's the cheesy note, but it smells like dirty socks, right? Like, and that's not something that, you know, you go, oh yes, I'm excited for, or looking to find a note like that, but you'll know what I mean when I say that, right? You can already pick up the scent when I say dirty socks. It's kind of like that sulfur note, but it's not like the rotten egg or matches. It's like this sort of sweaty, stinky fabric type smell. Kind of cheesy too, but again, as I say, there's this like a honeyed character, like you took cheese, put it inside a gym sock, and let it sit in the laundry for a couple of days, and then you dropped it in a jar of honey, and that's kind of what I'm smelling right now. It's weird. Be interesting to see how this one translates on my palate. Yeah, almost even like meat on the edge of going bad, fermented meat. Man, the nerd in me is kind of like intrigued by that, and I know this probably doesn't sound appealing at all, but it's kind of cool. It's different, right? Even like, there's apples in there too, green apples. Imagine like a deli platter, right? Like I think, is it called charcuterie? I think that's how you say it. It's probably wrong, but the board where you've got meats and you've got cheeses and you've got like fruits and you've got walnuts and all those different things. If you sort of smush them together, you're kind of getting what this smells like. So yeah, different. Okay, let's see. Let's try this Blair Athol 12 and see if it tastes like a dirty sock. Cheers, guys. Thankfully, it doesn't. And not that I know what dirty socks taste like, but you know what I mean. Oh, okay, cool. So it's gone really nutty now on the finish. So came in very typically sherried and then started to transition. This heat built up and became more bitey. Like for 43%, it's got some heat to it, and then that heat sort of rose up and then it transitions out, and then just this wave of nuttiness comes in. Combine that with the oak and those lingering smoked meats, like almost like prosciutto. That's cool. I'm not getting that cheesiness on the palate. It's not bad for a neck pour. First impressions, it's kind of cool. It's unique to other things that I've tried. So let's try now one more time on the nose. Far more on the meaty and nutty side. It's a cool nose. A lot of that gym sock smell has started to dissipate now. Cured meat still. Oak. Dark fruits. And malt. Some honey as well. Okay, let's try it on the palate one more time for the finish. Slange. Apples there. The heat's coming in again. Oakiness. A really nice balanced sweetness. Dryness now, little tannic. And an element of the meatiness. There's a bit of that richness to it. There's like a really heavy note in there. I like it. I think it's good. I know sometimes it's a bit of a mixed review on the Blair Athol 12. Some people don't like it. They find more of that sort of cheesy note, sometimes almost vomit-like. It's not that intense for me on my bottle. Perhaps I got a better batch. Don't know. Perhaps I just pick up different flavors on my nose and palate to other people. But in terms of enjoying it as a whiskey, yeah, I like it. I would absolutely recommend this one as one to pick up. It's a little pricey for what it is, but I think because it's not easy to come by an original bottling of a Blair Athol, that's what you're paying for. And it's a good experience. I think it'd absolutely be worthwhile seeking out some independent bottlings of Blair Athol, even higher strength, non-chill filtered. I think there'd be some fantastic Blair Athols out there. If you can get your hands on it at a reasonable price, I think it's one worth checking out, especially if you enjoy sherried whiskey. And I was impressed with the mouthfeel, even at 43%. It's got some good texture and flavor to it. So I've enjoyed this one. Thank you for being a part of my first time trying the Blair Athol 12 in the Flora and Fauna series from Diageo. I'm gonna just take my time and nurse this last little mouthful in my Glencairn glass now. And I think while I do that, if you want to have a look at another video I did recently, check this one here. Thanks for being here, guys. Talk to you soon.